So today we'll be learning DX API. So this topic was pending from long time. So what we will be seeing today in DX API v1.1, okay, version 1. So we'll be seeing one. So first let's understand what is v1 and v2. So v2 is mostly Pega is using for their React component. Means if you're developing UI inside the Pega in React, okay, then they are using DX API 2 to interact with the core engine or the database. Okay, so today we'll be learning DX API and what APIs inside DX API, what APIs we will be learning. So we will be learning a total 6 APIs today. Okay, and in that what we will be doing, so we will be from creating a case to approving that case, we will be learning today. So we'll learn these things today. So these are the APIs. So the first API we'll be learning is to create a case. Okay, because this is one of the most important API. If you see, let's say you have developed an applications, okay, and then you want to give that same applications to other system as well, so that they, using DX API they can interact with your system. Okay, or like they some other front end team wants to develop their UI and then wants to use our DX API, and from there only they want to create a case and then get the case details. So get the case details is like, let's say you want to get the case details so that you can display the data in read only mode. Okay, so given the details of a case ID. The third one is update the case. So let's say like in Pega also, if you see nowadays Pega have given options to update the case. Okay, so we can update some data. Okay, so that I mean, like you are in already in like case is sitting and you don't want to take a primary actions, you just want to take a local actions and just want to update the data. So we'll learn that one. Okay, under assignment we'll be learning three services. So get assignment. Okay, so what it will do, it will return all the assignment, okay, of the logged in users. So let's say like we have a Pega user. Okay, let's say we have a Pega user John. Okay, and then same guy is working from the front end in a different application. So he, like, once he'll be logging to the front end applications, we will do some authentications. Today we'll be using just a basic authentications, but definitely if you're going for your real-time projects, you'll need some other authentications. Maybe you'll OAuth or you have to implement custom authentications. Okay, so that we can see in some later classes, but we'll be using today basic authentication. So just imagine that the John is passing the user ID, okay, and then his password, okay, Pega passwords. Then this, what this will do, it will return all the list of assignments. So let's say inside the in John's work list they have a 5 cases, then Pega will return these 5 cases. The next is that get assignment details. Okay, so after getting the 5 cases, okay, we can get the more details, okay, of one assignment. Okay, because this will just return the case ID, okay, and few basic details. This will return one case ID, basically the assignment details, one assignment details plus along with that. So inside assignment details, what all details will be getting, will be getting the primary actions as well as the local actions. Okay, because when you open that case, what all things you can perform from your work list, you can perform the primary as well as the local actions. So we'll get all those details, and after getting the details from these services, we'll use this data in this one and then perform that assignments. So I have written these services because we'll be using sequentially. Okay, because the data from the previous service will be used in the next one. Okay, so let's start and see how this will work. But before like going to that one, let's understand a little bit technical that if we call these APIs, okay, what Pega calls that. Okay, so we'll be going and seeing that API. So in where we have to go and check, so we have to go to integrations and services. Inside services we have a service REST. Okay, and then our package name is API, so we can just search with our service package is API, and then API, and then we have a v1, and then we'll be using cases and assignments. So first we can check the cases. So here you'll find the more details, okay, inside this cases. So there are like multiple versions. I mean, versions basically based on the parameters. Okay, so I'll show you these services also, that how we'll use these services inside the case and pass different parameters. So basically here you'll find that details. Okay, so here we have the cases and also we have the assignments. And then one more thing is that, so here you'll get the technical details. Okay, if you want to trace, you can open the services, like let's say this one. Okay, and then here you can trace it. Okay, if you want to trace, maybe I'll try to show you also that if you're facing an issue, how you can trace it. So from here you can trace it. So you can find out that your service name and just click on trace, and that will, once you'll proceed the request, it will trace. So this is the second thing, is that we want to like see that package as well, because we authentications we implement in package. So where we'll see the package, we have to go to resources and then service package. Okay, so these things you have to make sure before start calling. So here we have API, so here we can open that API. So we'll be using this one. So here we have to update that. Okay, so here you can see the PRPC administrator is there. If you want, you can update your access group. Okay, so let me see what is my access group. It should be something loan. Here we have to update our, okay, so we can update our access group. So if you want to do, you can do that. And then currently we are using basic authentications, and then maybe if you're doing in your local system, you need to uncheck this one. Okay, required TLS SSL for REST package. So maybe you have to do a little bit here. Okay, and then here we have a basic authentications, means we have to pass Pega user ID and password. Okay, and then a few other authentications is also there. Definitely basics will be not be using in productions, but for our POC we can use basics. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so first services which will be consuming is that create case. Okay, so from where we can navigate, if you want to test it from Pega only. So these services you can test from your Postman as well, but today I'll be showing it from the Pega. Like Pega have given a Swagger kind of a things, from there only we'll be testing. So you need to navigate this help, and then here inside that you'll find the Pega API, but you'll get that endpoint URL. I'll show you from where we'll get the endpoint URL also, and then you can call the services from the Postman, or from, if you're using any front end, so from there also you can call it. So here we have the cases. Okay, so inside the cases you can see that currently it's not showing. Okay, but if you open that any service from here, there also you'll get that UI that endpoint URL. So here you can see that we have that URL, right? So the first part is that our Pega Pega URL, and then API v1 and the assignment. In similar way we have API v1 and the cases. Okay, once I'll call this one, we'll see that URL formed URL here as well. So let's see that. Okay, so the first services which we are going to try is create case. Okay, we want to create a case. Okay, first, so I have a loan request application, simple application. So let me first show you in Pega what fields we have. Okay, so simple application. Okay, so I'll be creating a case in Pega first. Okay, manually. So here you can see that we have the loan amount, credit score, and the country. So 3 fields is there. Okay, and we have created L2003. So now the next request we will be creating from the DX API. Okay, using create case. So if you see here, so this is that only takes one parameter. Okay, that request body. Okay, and the sample request body has been given here. So I'll copy this one and we'll be modifying. So we'll see that what all details it has. So it has the few inside the contents. Okay, so let's see the block. Inside the contents we have to pass our property. Okay, which will be under work page. Okay, so currently you can see that I have built that. Okay, inside that we have a country, loan amount, and credit score. So these are the 3 attributes we have in our case. So that will go inside the content. Okay, and then we have the one important is the case type ID. So basically we have to give our class name. Okay, for which class we want to create a case, and rest things is optional. So page instructions is optional. Attachments we'll see in some other classes. Okay, how we can attach any document. Okay, if you want to do that, basically how we can send any attachment as a in request. So we'll not be using that one. So what we'll do, we'll simply remove this one, this block, and then page instructions also will be removing, because for now we are not going to use it. And this one, if you're using process ID and parent case ID, if you're using parent child relationship, so that also for now I'll remove it. So inside that contents we have a 3 attribute in our case. So this 3 attribute, so and then we'll place it here. So simply I'll remove this one, and which we have already built it. So now what I'll do, I'll copy this and just paste it here, and then click on try. So here what I'll do, I'll try it out. So the moment I'll try it out, okay, it will give us the response based on that success or failure. So let me do that. Let me click on the try it out. So here you can see that L004 got created. Okay, now you can ask a question that why, like how it authenticated. So what happens, I had already opened it. So if you're opening for the first time, it pop-up will come and will ask you to enter your user ID and password of Pega operator ID, so which I have already done, so that's why it didn't ask me. Okay, now case got created, and here you can see that I got a ID. So ID is basically, here is the PZ key. So this ID got created, and also the next assignment ID. So this is the next assignment ID. Basically this is the assignment ID, and the next page ID is the perform. Okay, so we got the details, and we have the e tag as well. So e tag we'll be using in further services. This is very important. I'll show you. Okay, so if you're going for update, this e tag is required. Okay, so let's say like but we always just after creations we cannot update. Okay, if you're saving this one e tag, if you're saving this response, then you can use it. Otherwise there is another way also. We can make another service, get the e tag, and then update the case. So we'll see that. So if you're storing this request response, then fine. If not, then that is also fine. Now let's come to Pega and see if we have got that L004. So let's click here, and yeah, we can see that L004 we got, L2004 we got, and here we can see that the data also, credit score 800, and then amount 5000, and then country Canada we got it. So from where we got from this details what we passed in the request, see here. Okay, so now what we want to do, okay, we want to update the data. Okay, so this is sitting in the work list of that user. Okay, and now we want to update. So to update that, what we have to do, let's just see that. Okay, so here create a case, we are done. The next thing is that we will be jumping to update a case. Okay, so here let's review the parameter what it is asking. So here to process a case, it requires the PZ key, which we have got it after creation. So we can simply copy this one, okay, and then here we paste it. Now the next is that if match. So basically it is asking for the e tag. Okay, and then the request body which we want to send. So this time also we'll be sending the same request body. Sorry, this time we'll not be sending that case type ID, we'll be just sending the content. So here you can see that we are not sending that case type ID, so we'll just remove it and then send. So we'll just copy this one and I'll remove that case type ID. So from this one I'll remove the case type ID. This time that is not required. And now I'll update the value. So from Canada I'll make that India country. Let me see that in the drop down that country should be available. Okay, so if not available, so Japan is there, so maybe I'll update to Japan, because the value should be same. Otherwise, like that should be available, otherwise it will throw validations. Okay, and then amount, maybe I'll put it to 7000, and then credit score 900. Okay, so here that if match is asking. Okay, so now the question is that if I have not saved the response from create case, from where I'll get this value. So currently we have this one. Okay, we have not refreshed this page, so we can use this value, copy or paste. There is another way. Okay, that if you have not saved this response, we can use get case details. Okay, so that is our, let's see that is our the second service, get case details. So using this one we'll get the details and also we'll get that e tag. Okay, so what it is asking, it is just asking one parameter, the py case, PZ key. So I'll now hit try it out. So you can see that we got the entire details. See, so this service we can use it to get the case details for to display the data in review mode, or we want to display the data. Okay, and also it returned that e tag in our header. See here. So what we can do, we can take this value, okay, and pass it here for update. So you can see that how we are using get case details. Okay, that if you don't have the history what we have received from the create case, we can call this service, and these are the microservices, so you don't have to think for the performance. I know, I mean, you cannot call unnecessary, but yeah, like these are not the heavily loaded services, so you can call as many times. Okay, so that it has been designed in that way only, that you can call one by one and get the data. So now I'll make an update. So here you can see that Japan and 7900, and I'm trying to do that on the same case. So let's hit that, try it out. Yeah, so we got 204, so which is like kind of in a success range. Okay, and then request URL. So you can see that this is how it is forming that URL. So basically you need to update this part. Okay, if you're using from the Postman, and if you're using a spaces, maybe you need to have this kind of a things as well. because this percentage and 2 is that that for the space. Okay, so that you have to enter it. So now let's review our case. Okay, L2004. See, the value got updated 9,900, 7,000 and Japan. Okay, so it's working. And one more thing you have to keep in mind, that if the request is locked, okay, maybe it won't work. Okay, so that you need to make sure. Okay, let me log this case and see if I'm able to do it. Okay, maybe I'm trying with my ID only. Okay, that's why it's working. But if you're trying with some other ID, because the same user is holding that lock, and if you have any doubt on the locking things, you can go and watch my previous video I've uploaded on the locking. So, but if you're trying to process from some other user or trying to update, maybe you'll face an issue. Okay, so that is one important thing. So now we covered this one, the case service. So, okay, so what we covered, we created a case, we got the case details. Okay, and then we updated the case. Okay, so to create case, we pass that inside the content, and to get the case details, it's just asking one parameter, and to update the case, it is asking three parameter. One, the body, and body is not like mandatory. Okay, if you not pass, then it won't update with any data. If you see here, body is not mandatory, but action is mandatory. Action ID, basically the PZ key, and then if match. So let's move ahead and try to process this case using again assignment API. Okay, so we don't want to submit it manually, we want that system to submit. Okay, basically DX API to submit. Now to submit, how do I know that what all cases is present in my work list? Okay, so for that only we will be using this API get assignment. So what it will do, it will return all the cases which is there in that user work list. Okay, so the logged in work list. So let's see that how many cases we have. Okay, so okay, we'll go to assigned as work list. So these users have like good amount of cases. So this is the user author at the rate loan. So 1 2 3 4 5. So let's see that once I'll submit, we should get these cases, 5 cases in that list. Okay, so we'll navigate it to work assignment. So let me just collapse this things. Okay, so we'll go to assignment. So this is the get assignment again, and it will not when I'm trying, okay, it's not asking to log in because I have already done that. If you're doing for the first time, it will ask in the pop-up. So let's try it out. Okay, so now you can see that I got the details. So let me copy this response and show you, okay, how it looks like. Let me put it here. So you can see that we got that list of assignments. Okay, see inside that assignment, but it is not giving me the complete details. It is just giving the case ID and then assignment ID. Okay, it's just giving that much data. Now from this list, okay, you need to let's say if you're calling from other systems. So this is basically you got a list. Now which one you want to perform, that you need to put your logic. Okay, maybe you get we have urgency. Okay, based on urgency you can do or whatever, like it's returned. So maybe you want to process the first one only. Okay, so that is how you need to decide the application's logic. Okay, but we got that. Okay, so now we'll look for the our case. So here we have the our case. So the next we got the assignment. Okay, all the list of assignments. Next we want to get the details of one particular assignment so that we can see all the details, actions, and then perform. Okay, so here I'll copy this one because we will be needing these things. So we'll go again here, and so the first one is done. We got that list of assignments. Now we want to get the details of assignments. So there only here you can see that in curly braces it is asking the ID. Okay, so here we'll put that assignment ID. Okay, if you see, here you can also see that what it is asking. Okay, you can read the description. So here it is assignment ID it is asking. Okay, so now I'll click try it out again, and let's review this response again. So this is the details of one case, okay, or the one assignment. So if I compare the assignment, this one, if I compare this data, this XML with the one which I have copied it, it's the same thing. Okay, it's the same thing, no difference, just that the difference is there we have that XML and here we have JSON. So here you can see that we have the case ID and few other details, and then also we have the actions. Okay, so inside actions you can see that we have the primary actions, main actions is the primary, and then we have a secondary. Okay, so the main is when flow will move, and in secondary we can just perform something, we can cancel or we can save the assignment. Okay, so what for now what we are going to do, we are going to take the main actions and we'll be using the submit. Okay, so we'll copy this details. Okay, Now we'll go to the next API. Okay, so the next API is a perform assignment. So let's collapse this one as well, and the next is that perform assignment. Okay, so here you can see it is asking to enter that the assignment ID. Okay, so here assignment ID is our L4, so I'll just enter 4, and then action ID is the submit, okay, which we copied. Okay, and then in request body, okay, while submitting, let's say that like while performing assignments we fill few data, right? So here also we want to fill the data, so we don't like we already have we have already filled it. Okay, while case creation maybe like few of the fields we will not fill it, but here we have already filled it, so I'll just try to update the same data. Okay, so in content what I'll do, I'll pass that the updated data, so I'll just copy this content part and send the updated data. So last time if you remember we had updated with Japan and 9,000 and something. Okay, so let me just update it. So this time I'll just change it to Canada, and then loan amount I'll make it to 6,000, and this one I'll make it to 1,000. So what it will do, it will update. Okay, so it will update and then create perform the assignment. So basically what here we are doing, okay, that we are trying to enter the data which that perform assignment requires. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, let's perform this assignment. So what it will do, it will basically it will move the case from my work list, I mean like to the next stage. Okay, so here you can see that currently it is in submissions flow. So let's try that API and see what is happening. Okay, so let's see that. Okay, so action is not valid to use. So see here it's saying action is not valid to use. Okay, because the actions which we have passed it. So let's debug that why it is saying okay action is not valid to use. So let's copy the details, maybe we have done some mistakes. So we'll copy submit. Submit is that here action ID, I think this one is correct only, so I'll just go here and put submit, and then in place of assignment details I'll copy this. And let me try that. It should work. Let me try that with the true. Action is not valid. Why action is this? Action is valid. Action submit. Assignment to perform and then assignment ID. Yeah, this is correct only. Let me refresh this and try once more. So this is the case L004, okay, which we are trying to process, and the flow actions name. So that action ID is nothing, it's just the flow actions name. So here we can see that. Okay, so I'll open this flow and we can see the flow actions. Okay, so the flow actions name is submit request. I'm not sure like why then it was returning submit. Let me see that why this system is returning. Okay, so sorry, like this one, this submit is finished. Okay, that's for the button. Sorry, like just ignore this one. So here we have the actions. Okay, so here we have the actions. We have the submit request, update case details, and change stage. So if you see in our case we can take 3 actions. Okay, so here we have actions. So here we can, the primary is thing the submit request, edit details, and change stage. Okay, so we'll be taking that submit request. So basically I was passing that wrong action ID. So submit is for that different things. If you're using finish assignments, basically for the button, so we don't have to look this one, we have to look this inside the actions. Okay, so you can just ignore what I told previously. So actions, inside that actions you can see that what actions we can take. Okay, and then also we can take the secondary actions. Okay, so that's not a problem, it will work. Okay, so let's do that. For now we'll use submit request. So again I'll open that Pega API and we'll go to assignment, perform assignment, and this time we'll use L004 and then XN ID submit request, and then inside the content we'll copy the data from here and we'll paste it and remove the case type ID. Let's try it out now. Yeah, so you can see that we got 200 and we performed, and then we got the next assignment as well. Okay, so let's say if you want to save this response and use it further for the next assignment, or if you want to perform the next assignment, that also we can do. So let's come to Pega and see that if our case is moved from data stage to next stage. So let's see that. Let's open that case, and we can see that yeah, it moved to review offer. So see how we perform that case. Okay, so just one small corrections to this one, that we have to, our actions is inside this one. Okay, here you can see that in that response of the previous response we have that action, so we have to take one of the actions. If we, and these are the secondary actions which we can take. Okay, so let's say if we want to take cancel. Okay, so let's try that cancel also. So we can do cancel assignment, but that should be plugged. Let me see if that is there. Okay, so let's try some change stages there, and then other things is there. So that should be there here. Okay, otherwise it will not work for now. So here whatever we have added in the case type, it will work. Edit details is basically the same update case. Okay, so it's there is not much difference, but yeah, we can try. Let's try that edit details, but this time assignment is got changed. Okay, because we have moved it, so we need to start from the press. So for now what I'll do, I'll go ahead and copy that assignment ID from here. So I'll just copy that. Basically we can get this information by calling that service only, but for now I'll just do that. So I will copy from here and put this information here, and then for edit, let's see that what is that edit. For edit, the ID is py update details, and then we'll use py update details. And in content, I'm for now also passing the same details. Okay, so we'll verify. So currently let's see that what value we have on this case. We have 800, 5000 and Canada. So I'll just update that value and make a service call. So I'll make 7,000, and then here I'll make 9, and then country I'll leave it, and I'll just try. Yeah, looks like it worked. So you can see that URL, inside that URL the XN ID is also going. So that assignment ID is going, and then the XN ID is also going. So let's refresh this case, and I'm hoping that value should have got updated. See, the value is got updated. So this is how we can use. Okay, that's it for today's session. So let's recap what we learned. Okay, and you can try. Okay, because these are very important, and it's not only important if you're using for your project. Okay, even if you're going for your interview or anywhere. Okay, you should know that what is the DX API and how it should work. Okay, so let's quickly review what we did. So we learned 6 API to create a case. To create a case, we have to pass a JSON, which basically basically we have to pass a JSON. Okay, and then the important attribute is that important attribute it takes is that the case type ID, and then inside the content. So content is also not mandatory. It all depends, like what if you have any attribute which you want to pass, while case creations only. Okay, so that all depends on your business requirement. So that is how we can do create case. After create case, we can use get case details. Okay, so with this we'll get the entire details of the case, and if you want to display the data, or if you want to review the data, refresh the data each and every time, so you can call this service and just show that updated data. Also it returns that e tag in that header, which can be used in update case. So in update case, it takes 3 parameter. One is that case ID, and then the content body, and then e tag that value. Okay, because what that value is, that basically it compares that, okay, that when it was updated, and based on it updates. Now after case creations, we want to process that assignment. Okay, to process that assignment, we don't know that which assignment I have to process. Okay, so for that we can call get assignments. What it will do, it will return all the list of assignments, okay, for that users. And then after getting that list of assignments, we can take any assignments and get the details of that assignments, entire details, and then Finally, after getting that assignment details, entire assignment details, it will return that the actions details. Okay, that what all actions we can take here. Let's see that. Okay, we'll get the actions details here. After getting that details of any assignments, we'll get that and basically action is nothing but the flow actions name. So you can see the submit request, and I also showed in the flow that the name of the flow actions was submit details, and also this is also py edit case details is another flow actions, and py changes stage is another flow action. So I'll quickly show you. Okay, in case type, if you go here, you'll find those actions. So let's open that case. Here you'll see that there are 3 flow actions which I talked. Okay, so that should be configured here. So in case by actions, you can see py case details and py change stage, and then in this flow we have the submit request. So 3 actions it got returned. So while performing the assignments, we have to pass this details. So we have to pass the assignment, and then this this body what you want to, because when we are performing, we want to pass that the input as well. Okay, like when we submits or approve the data, we give some data, right? We input and then data and then submit. So that data we can pass, and then we have to pass the assignment id and then the flow actions name. Okay, and then we can submit. So that is the parameter it will take that this perform assignments. So that's it for today's sessions. I hope these quick sessions will help you, and you'll be able to do it this you'll be able to try the DX API. And in next sessions, how we'll learn how we can send the attachment. Okay, so maybe for that I'll use install Postman, and from the Postman I'll show you okay how we can send any document. Okay, because that is also important. If you're creating a case, then sending document is also important. So that's it for today's sessions. Okay, thank you very much. Have a good day.